It has long been thought that one of the characteristics which separate humans from other animals is the ability to reason. Whereas animals are slaves to their instincts, such as hunger, thirst, fear, and the need to reproduce, humans have the capacity to control their urges and reflect upon their feelings. Promotion of the use of reason was central to the Enlightenment movement in 18th century Europe. The ability to think problems through logically is something on which Western civilizations have prided themselves. However, while it is certainly true that humans possess the capacity to employ logic in problem solving and in making good decisions, psychologists have shown in experimental studies that humans are likely to act irrationally far more often than is commonly perceived. One example of this is the influence of words. If you have recently read or heard someone say the word eat, then you will be more likely to use a you rather than an to fill in the blank in the combination S-O-blank-P. Words can also influence our physical actions. In a famous experiment, a group of American university students were told to make a sentence using a set of words presented to them. They were divided into two groups. One group was given a word list containing words which are normally associated with the elderly, such as retirement, wrinkle, grey, sloth, and pension, while the list given to the other group contained no such words. When the students had finished their task, they were told to change rooms. The researchers found that the students who had been working with the set of words associated with old age walked more slowly than the other group. The word old was not used, and all the students said in the interview after the experiment that they were unaware of the theme suggested by the words. Their behavior had been influenced unconsciously. The phenomenon described above is known in psychology as priming. It can also be produced through your own gestures. This is because gestures are also a form of communication. For example, nodding means yes and shaking the head means no. To demonstrate how priming may also apply to gestures, American university students in another experiment were given a set of headphones to wear. An opinion taken from a radio show was played through the headphones, and the students were instructed to check for sound problems by moving their heads. Half of the students were asked to nod their heads up and down, while the other half were asked to shake their heads from side to side. The experimenters found that the students who nodded their heads up and down were more likely to agree with the opinion which they had heard through the headphones. This contrasted with the group that shook their heads, who were more likely to disagree. While no one would argue that humans are completely irrational, we are open to suggestion far more than we would like to believe. We should therefore be aware of this when taking important decisions, especially if someone is actively trying to influence the outcome, such as in advertising or even when in supermarkets. For example, the interiors of these shops are often designed by psychologists to encourage what is known as impulse buying. The use of lighting to display certain products and the physical placement of goods are designed with this aim in mind. It is no accident that comfort foods such as sweets and chocolates are frequently displayed at the checkout counter, where people have to wait in line. It may be impossible to make ourselves immune to all suggestion, but a little self-reflection before we act may go a long way.